Billy looked down in the lift and pressed the final button. Pirate Bay. The Gnostic ship was ready. They sailed out, their hearts set on saving the Coven of 14, singing, in unison, "Hey ho, a pirate's life we know. Hey ho, it's off to sea we go." The ship sailed past the golden mermaids, whose shimmering tails offered a warning. The sea goddess sent a challenge of knowledge, demanding the numbers of unity, 1, and manifestation, 3. Captain shouts, triumphant, "The answer is 1 and 3. With the riddle solved, the serene mermaids allowed their passage, but the calm was short-lived. Rapid hoofbeats on water, followed by a terrifying wail. From the spectral depths, the spirit-lost Indian chase arose, chasing them in shadowy canoes. A terrifying banshee materialized. Kev from Paradise. Theo high-pitched, defiant. "Hoo-hoo, not today, old ghost." Kev the toucan miraculously transmuting the scream of death into the powerful banshee wind, propelling the ship forward, away from the spectral pursuit. The Gnostic ship surged forward, gaining distance on the chase, sailing hard toward the hallowed monastery of Afar. They began the long final climb, heavy footsteps and labored breathing. They reached the top, facing the gate. Witch Guardian. V.O. Ancient. Echoing. The gong demands a sound of commitment. Billy and Susie struck the gong. Balance had conquered force. The gate swung open. The final blessing was received. The crew left the hallowed space, sailing out of the cove and setting course for the ultimate destination, the land of many women. Full sail. The Gnostic ship won't stop until we see land. The voyage was long, but at last the massive island came into view. The Gnostic ship pulled ashore on a pristine, sun-drenched beach. Ship's anchor drops, gentle waves lapping. A glorious welcome awaited them. A host of beautiful indigenous women were gathered, celebrating their arrival. They were clothed in vibrant yellow rara skirts, dancing gracefully on the beach. Some held woven baskets overflowing with exotic fruits, pineapple, jackfruit and durian ready to share. Captain Stonker approaching the chief. Captain Stonker, ever the diplomat, approached the central figure, loud, diplomatic. "A fine welcome. We bring gifts. Velvet. Dive, my dear, and bring forth the jewels of the sea." Velvet Abyss quickly dove beneath the waves and returned, holding several large, luminous pearls in her hands. Captain Stonker presented the pearls to the native chief, who wore an impressive bone crown. The chief's eyes gleamed with respect, accepting the token of friendship and sealing the diplomatic bond between the sea and the land. The alliance was secured. The crew was now ready to receive the strategic wisdom needed for the final ascent. Having secured safe passage, the crew prepared for the impossible ascent. "Chief, you must go to the Plain of Wise Men. There you will find a large totem pole with 5 owls. The owls are the watchers. They will provide the wisdom you need about the creature below, the fishman, before you face the dragon." The kind Indian squaw and braves provided final provisions, ensuring the crew had food for the trek. The crew set off. They accepted the gifts and the guidance, moving away from the safe harbor of the Bone Chief settlement. They trundled off into the dense jungle, the rich sounds of the wild enveloping them. During the arduous trek, they took a short break. Captain Stonker, ever the pragmatist, saw a need for defense. He endured several stings, smoking out a beehive and gathering honey, a sticky golden barrier to protect their ears from any lurking siren song. They continued their journey to the secluded lagoon, finding Susie swimming and Major Dewitt relaxing. The reunion was brief but necessary. Just as they prepared to leave, Jasmine, the hidden warrior, leaped out, sword raised. Major Dewitt, laughing. "Say hello to my girlfriend." With Jasmine joining as their guide, the full crew pressed on, relying on stealth. They moved across the final open plain, their eyes fixed on the distant mountain of Javura. Their destination was soon before them, the Plain of Wise Men. There stood the towering totem pole carved with 5 majestic owls. The crew had found the wisdom needed for the final ascent. The crew set off for the mountain. They accepted provisions from the kind squaw, but first, they went to the Wise Chief's council for final wisdom. "Wise Chief, the fishman sees with sound. You must move like spirits. Action." Wise Chief gesturing to the shed owl feathers. The chief points to the shed owl feathers scattered beneath his perch. "Wise Chief, take these feathers and make slippers. They are the only shield against the fishman's radar." Narrator. The crew accepted the mystical counsel. Jasmine and the others quickly crafted their feather slippers. Jasmine, calm, firm whisper. We move now? Absolute silence. With the owl feathers securing their stealth, they set off across the plain toward the dangerous mountain slopes. The silent trek across the plain led them to the perilous slopes of the mountain of Javura. Jasmine, nimble and experienced, led the way up the treacherous, winding path, Captain grumbling out of breath. Blast it all. These old bones aren't built for mountain climbing. This is pirate work, not goat work. I'm too old for this nonsense. Despite the captain's grumbles, they pressed on, their boots and feather slippers making little sound. As they neared the fishman's lair, a cavernous opening in the rock face, Billy and Susie, with surprising foresight, had gathered smooth pebbles and tucked them into their pockets, a small, childish habit that would soon prove vital. The entrance to the lair was immense, a gaping maw in the mountainside. Inside it was dark, slimy, and reeked of stale salt and something far more foul. Jasmine, fifth urgent whisper. Watch your step, the fishman's senses are keen. Suddenly, a chilling sound echoed through the cavern. Billy, in a moment of youthful carelessness, stepped on a broken stick. The sharp crack reverberated, instantly alerting the monstrous inhabitant. A horrifying putrid wave of stinky fish breath washed over them, a sickening stench that burned their throats. Billy immediately clapped his hands over his mouth, gagging at the overwhelming reek. The fishman was awake, and its sonar radar was tracking the noise, moving directly towards Billy's position. In a flash of pure gnosis-inspired quick thinking, Susie reached into her pocket. With a swift, powerful flick of her wrist, she hurled her collection of pebbles into a nearby unseen pool of water. The splash instantly redirected the fishman's radar. The monstrous creature changed course, lunging toward the new sound. Get out. Now, Jasmine immediately drew her golden sword, holding it defensively, providing crucial cover as the crew scrambled desperately out of the lair, narrowly escaping the creature's snapping jaws. Panting and heavy breathing, the ingenious pebble distraction saved their lives. Scrambling out of the fishman's lair, the crew didn't stop until the terrible scent of raw fish was far behind them. They were battered, but their discipline had held. Continued the arduous, silent ascent up the mountain slopes. The air grew thinner, the shadows sharper, and the cold deepened the hunger in their bellies. Just as their physical endurance was failing, the harsh, rocky path gave way to something impossible. Ahead of them, bathed in a soft sunset glow, was a clearing of impossible beauty. This was the beginning of the dragon's magical defenses. A stunning woman, Axelon, ruler of the island, greeted them. The scene was one of overwhelming abundance, tables laden with food, wine flowing freely, and women dressed in vibrant silks and jewels dancing around a lavish setting. You came out of the caves and survived your ordeal with the fish-eater. We congratulate you for passing our little test. The entire crew was instantly charmed. The test of stealth was over. The final test of temptation and the mind had begun. Axelon offered them the feast of their lives, a powerful, alluring illusion designed to make them forget their mission entirely. The sound of clinking goblets and celebratory murmurs. The most dangerous part of their journey had just started.